The elite operators of the U.S. Special Operations community are tasked with only the most difficult and dangerous missions. The subject featured in the following interview operated within this community and acted as a consultant on the development of Medal of Honor. Their identity has been concealed for security purposes.
I'm a guy with a special forces background. I've been in service in my country for over 15 years. When certain things show up on the table and certain things need to get done, 100% of the guys that you work with can look at that and say, I am the answer to that problem. I always knew that I wanted something different. I wanted to beat my own path, carve my own way. I'll call it fate. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. I always like to refer to the guys in our community that the candle just burns brighter. There's nothing that's going to satiate this person. The person wants to continue to push, to grow, to evolve as a warrior. It's a Wolfpack mentality. You've got a lot of A-type personalities that tend to want to be the best that they can be. You will smell out the weak. And if you don't keep up with the pack, then you absolutely don't belong. There comes a time when you need to flip the switch, and flipping the switch is game on. That is when the wolves are released. There are moments when you're out in the field and things can be surreal. You have to be absolutely focused. You have to have your A game absolutely all the time. When you're out in the field or you're on an operation, the operation is the focus. We're at war. What are you willing to do?
Somebody asks me what I do for a living, I help people. When I'm on an op, I'm not thinking about anything about the op. Home is at home. What the job is in front of you, that's the only thing that matters at the time. Guys are always going to modify their gear the way that they want to, obviously, but nobody's going to dictate how you carry your magazines or what holster you use. The bottom line is results. If you're on a DA and you're kicking doors and the only thing you're thinking is check your six, give the squeeze, and do your job, once you're in the door, you're thinking A-box shots. A-box shots on shoots, and don't shoot the no-shoots. If everybody's standing, then we're good to go. Let's tackle the next problem. Every man around you has the utmost confidence in you to do your job, and at the same time, you better do your job because they're expecting you to. Even when a mission is successful, you can bet there's 12 lessons learned that you've taken home. Success within a brotherhood is defined as taking care of your brothers. That's the bottom line. Everybody comes home.
I had a teacher, in high school reading about history, and I remember telling her, because I was kind of a smart ass, and I told her, I don't want to read about somebody else. I want to make history. I want to do it. The kind of character traits that a Tier 1 guy needs to possess, obviously the physicality. He's got to be in good shape. He doesn't have to be the strongest guy, but he's got to be a guy that probably is well above average. Intelligence-wise, they got to be smart guys. In the big Army, you're more of a hammer. It's a large instrument. When you start talking about the Tier 1 elements, it's much more of a scalpel approach. You're trying to do something very surgical. You're trying to do things with the most precise element that you can bring to bear. And a lot of times that can be just a single Tier 1 operator. No telling what he had to do to get to that point so that he could go through that door, so that he could confront a guy with a gun who wants to kill him. And he is going to try to, in a very surgical method, apply the very precise amount of damage to the bad guys without inflicting any damage on the hostages that may be in there. He's risking his life to save somebody else's life. He's doing it at great risk to not only himself, but his teammates. I would rather take a bullet myself than do something stupid that resulted in one of my buddies getting shot. I wish that the public in general could have an understanding of what guys do. Not just what they do operationally, but what they sacrifice for years and years and years in order to be the guy who is at the tip of the spear. For me, I'm not a very sociable person, to be quite honest. Ask my wife. I don't consider a lot of people friends, but if you're any innocent person that's in harm's way, we wanted to be the guys that came and tried to do their best to stop the bully.